Hi everyone, it's Beth Sager, and today my Lexington Local, I'm sitting here on the piano with Daniel Broniatowski from Maestro Musicians Academy, here right down in right near the Hastings School in Lexington. Very convenient location. So tell me, what exactly is Maestro Musician?
Maestro Musicians is a school that was founded in 2014.
Okay.
We serve about 150 local area families. And our primary instruments are piano, violin, voice, and also guitar.
Oh, okay.
We're primarily classically trained instrumentalists, and all of our employees and teachers have graduate degrees. And we have also a number of years of experience, all of us collectively. And we've been doing this not just since 2014, but many of our instructors have been working long before they came to us.
Interesting. So what is it? Is it just lessons? Is it group lessons? Like, how does it work?
Yeah, so we primarily focus on private instruction. We do have a group piano program called Piano Express. And I would say, though, probably our most popular offering is the private lesson program.
Okay. All right. And like, what ages are is it just kids? Is it adults or?
So our primary demographic that we serve are children, generally between the ages of 5 and 10.
Okay.
But we do teach adults as well.
Oh, interesting. And what instruments do you play?
So I'm trained as a violinist. I have a doctorate degree in violin performance.
Wow.
I played piano for many years as well as a kid, up through the time I was probably 20 years old.
Okay.
More exactly, I took lessons at that time. And I still play when I can.
Nice. So a doctorate in violin performance, what does that mean exactly?
So that's a great question. It's a big question.
Yeah.
So when you do a doctorate degree in performance, at least where I graduated from at Boston University, you could do either what's called a performance track or a thesis track. So I chose the performance track, which means that I had to not just do, I believe it was 5 recitals. We also had to have themed recitals where we give lectures on scholarly topics pertaining to various composers. We had to have a very solid basis in music theory, music history, chamber music, which means playing with other musicians, and of course being able to communicate with an audience verbally, very important as well.
Wow, okay, that's very interesting. I went to BU too, from my MBA. Yeah, it's a good skill, right?
Very good.
So after that, what did you do? You seem young. Did you start this?
Yeah, so the story is we started in 2010.
Okay.
I look younger than I am. But yeah, we started in 2010. It was actually a time of recession, and it was really challenging at the beginning. But we weren't actually a school. I mentioned 2014, so what did I do for 4 years?
Right.
We did weddings. We were a wedding contracting agency.
Wow.
Yeah, so I would send musicians around New England. I would play as well. And we played primarily ceremony music, string quartets, duos, things like that.
Interesting. So that's what you did right from your doctorate. You started this in 2010, and then you decided running around New England wasn't that much fun?
It wasn't that much fun. It was, hopefully this is not too controversial, but dealing with stressed out people who are about to be married is a little bit challenging, to say the least.
That makes sense.
I think most wedding planners will agree.
Yes, no, I agree. So do you have a recital at the end of the year? How does that work?
We have a minimum of 2 per year.
Okay.
Our recital seasons are in June and also in January, sometimes February, depending also on weather.
Okay.
But we also intersperse the recitals with nursing home concerts. So in the past, we've had partnerships with a place in Burlington, Stonebridge, and we also have done recitals at some of the other more local to the Sharon location areas, closer in Norwood.
Okay, interesting. That's nice. That's very nice. What else do you want to share with us?
Yeah. So, I really started Maestro Musicians out of a passion for imparting music to the next generation. I really feel very strongly about that, and it's very difficult to describe in some ways why I feel strongly about that, and the reason is because we all hear music in our lives day to day, and we appreciate it, and we take it for granted, because if we didn't have music, we'd miss it.
Right.
On the other hand, I knew that from when I was a young child, there was a certain spark inside me that, was kindled, and I would listen to LPs. That's how old I am.
Okay.
Child of the 80s and 90s. And at the time, I was just fascinated by what I was hearing. And what happened was there was something inside me that I felt that I had to communicate through this amazing medium. And especially when I was a teenager and, possibly hormonal, I was listening to lots of music and, just feeling these chills down my back and thinking, this is really, really amazing. And now I remember those experiences and think that language and mode of communication is really important, and I'd love other kids and adults to experience that.
Do you teach mostly classical? What is your program?
So we are on paper a classical music school, but
Okay.
we do have a number of kids, especially the voice students, who do some pop music, and we've done folk and other genres, but primarily we're classical. But there's always that small handful at our recitals that will perform something totally different, and everyone's like, wow, this is really amazing, and as long as it's appropriate, we'll teach it.
Right. Nice. All right. Cool. Anything else?
Well, I think that pretty much sums it up, except I think the most interesting thing from a academic standpoint is, of course, the benefits of music education, why someone should take lessons to begin with, other than the fact that we love it and we just kind of naturally gravitate toward it. Right. as musicians. But people always talk about this connection between music and math and music and academics, and it's a little bit maybe cliche or trite from the standpoint of a musician, because we hear it all the time, and people come up to us and say, oh yeah, you must be good at math because you play music. And although that's often true, I think more important is actually, and I see this with my own kids, is the fact that music lessons really teach the ability to become self-sufficient in anything. You can learn a piece of music on the piano or anywhere, and you suddenly you come into this world where you need to create a structure where you're learning how to start a project from start to finish. And in that project, you have to know how to get there, and your teacher will guide you. But there's a certain point as you become a young adult where you say, okay, now I can teach myself. And my teacher is really more my mentor. And it's a little bit like parenting as well. I think, you go from that manager to supervisor to consultant role.
Ah, interesting. Interesting outlook. Well, thank you. Thank you for your time.
Pleasure.
Very interesting.
Thank you.